Can you please explain the PPLI in depth in relation to XRP application? Also, how the bar pays the interest and still allows 90% LTV. PPLI, private placement life insurance. There's some diversification standards that we have to meet, and RIA has to manage it. We set up the policy. You don't want to MEC it because you want to be able to borrow against it. A MEC is a modified endowment fund. You want to do a 5-pay or 10-pay. You can backdate 1 year and you can double fund within the first 90 days to get more of a cash value and kind of, bolster that to be able to borrow against it sooner. Interest rates are prime plus 1.5 or 2%. So you're looking at 6.5 or 7% to be able to borrow against the cash value in the policy and allow those assets to grow tax-free. You can trade them tax-free inside the policy. Again, there's some diversification standards that you have to meet based on it being here in the U.S., but if we establish it offshore in Barbados or Bermuda, we're a little bit more lax there. But with you being an American citizen, we have to take that into consideration about how you're going to be taxed on that. The LTV there, they will do up to 90%, even if it's in digital assets on the policy, because they're able to underwrite the risk on the cash value and your death benefit. And then you can take out reinsurance. So whatever debt you borrow against your life insurance policy, you could take out a reinsurance policy. You could buy an annuity that makes the payments or the premiums on the reinsurance to be able to make sure that you are able to pay off the debt so that your assets aren't sold off upon your passing and they're going to flow back to your family. This is the Rockefeller method. This is what they do. We work with the gentleman that used to manage the PPLI side of the Rockefeller family office. He helps us establish things in the Cook Islands, Nevis, Switzerland, in the Middle East, and the UAE, also here domestically in Nevada and South Dakota, and down in the Caymans and Bermuda also. We have a very in-depth understanding of PPLI, how to structure it. We just met with a group, earlier this week that can do it in kind. They're the first PPLI provider that have 2 separate underwriters or insurers that will do the policies in kind. They've done a bunch of Bitcoin, they've done a bunch of ETH, and they've done a few XRP and Sol. Anyway, we got you covered. The way that we structure it is bulletproof. You have to have an RIA that manages the assets, have that set up for you. We can set up an asset protection trust that is the beneficiary. If you have your assets inside the LLC, you have insurable interest on yourself, and you can set up a key employee insurance policy. If it is a jumbo policy and you want to do like 50 or 100 million, probably have to do like a pension fund or something else that's actually the underwritten risk, even though you would be the beneficiary on those things. Very interesting ways to orchestrate that if you have very large numbers.